This story is one in the series from the African Wildlife Foundation, brought to you by Soundprints in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Leperit the Zebra by Chelsea Gillian Gray, illustrated by Michael Denman and William Hewitt, narrated by Al Gates. The early morning air is cool, but soon the day will be hot and dry. The ground of the Samburu National Reserve is cracked with the heat. Near the banks of the river, lying in the shade of an acacia tree, a young zebra and his mother are sleeping soundly. Leperit is only 6 months old. Every day his mother teaches him a little more about how to survive in his surroundings. Each day, Leperit's mother takes him down to the river to drink the cool water. Leperit has never gone to the river by himself, but this morning he wakes up before his mother and he is thirsty. Leperit wanders down to the river and drinks the cool water. When he has had his fill, he makes his way back to the acacia where he left his mother sleeping. But Leperit's mother is gone. Near the shady spot underneath the acacia tree are the footprints of a lion. Leperit returns to the river, but he does not find his mother. Leperit begins to trot wildly along the banks, whinnying, but his mother does not come to comfort him. Finally, Leperit drifts back to the acacia tree. Tired, he lays down on the hot, dusty ground and watches and waits for his mother to return. For 2 days, Leperit stays close to the acacia tree. He eats only what little grass he finds nearby. Soon he is very hungry. Each day he becomes weaker and weaker. Just before dawn on the third day, a pack of jackals slinks toward Leperit out of the darkness. Before Leperit realizes what is happening, the jackals have surrounded him. He quickly struggles to his feet as the jackals circle. Bucking, kicking, and whinnying, Leperit struggles against the pack of jackals. But the jackals are all around him, coming from every side, and Leperit begins to get tired. Suddenly, a small rock soars past Leperit. It hits a jackal that yelps and turns to flee. Leperit looks toward the direction of the rock and sees 2 young boys. They are hurling stones, screaming and waving their arms to try and shoo the jackals away from Leperit. Soon, frightened by the boys' shouts, the jackals run off into the distance. Leperit collapses on the ground, hurt and exhausted. Leperit licks a cut on his front leg. He looks up and sees the 2 young boys coming toward him, slowly and cautiously. Leperit is too tired and weak to run. He looks up helplessly at the boys with his wet black eyes as they slip a rope loosely around his neck. The boys lead Leperit to the homestead where they live. Leperit takes a long drink from a trough of cool water and rests for a while before grazing on the grass around him. Later, the boys wash his wound and gently rub it with traditional herbs. For days, Leperit eats and drinks beside the little kraal where livestock are kept. The boys take good care of him, and soon he is healthy and strong. One day, as Leperit nibbles grasses in the shade, the 2 young boys and an older man carefully approach him. They once again gently put a loop of rope around his neck. The man is a ranger who has heard from people in the area about the young zebra who lives on a kraal and grazes with calves. The ranger and the 2 young boys lead Leperit to the same spot where he lost his mother. They remove the rope and stroke his neck. Then the boys and the ranger walk back toward the kraal. As Leperit stands in the shade of the acacia tree, he hears the clip-clop of hooves. It's Leperit's mother. She has a wound on her back that looks as if it has been made by a lion's claws. But she is safe. Leperit excitedly trots toward his mother and gently nuzzles the side of his neck. As the sun begins to drop down toward the horizon, Leperit and his mother lay side by side underneath the acacia tree, together once again. About the African Wildlife Foundation. For more than 40 years, the African Wildlife Foundation, AWF, has played a major role in ensuring the continued existence of some of Africa's most rare and treasured species. AWF has invested training and resources in African individuals and institutions that have played critical roles in conservation. The essential need to conserve Africa's remaining vital ecosystems inspired AWF to mark a new era in African conservation by establishing the African Heartlands Program. AWF Heartlands are large, cohesive land areas where governments, organizations, and individuals focus their joint conservation efforts. Ecologically, the heartlands provide ample habitat for viable populations of wildlife to live, search for food, and reproduce naturally. Economically, the heartlands are increasingly valuable assets as wilderness becomes rare in our world. These wildlife attractions draw investors and offer enterprise opportunities that improve local economies and create wealth. The African Wildlife Foundation, together with the people of Africa, works to ensure that the wildlife and wildlands of Africa will endure forever. About Fiesta Achayo Warinwa, wildlife expert. Born and raised in the southern part of the Sudan, Equatoria, where wildlife was so abundant before a civil war started, Fiesta Achayo Warinwa has made invaluable contributions to conservation and achieved a striking range of personal achievements. Fiesta's greatest impact is in her own project area, working with the Samburu County Council, SCC, in northern Kenya. The SCC is responsible for the management of the Samburu National Reserve, one of Kenya's premier wildlife areas. About zebras. A member of the horse family, zebras are famous for their stripes. Leperit is a type of zebra called a Grevy zebra. Grevy zebras are the largest species of zebra. They can grow to 5 feet and weigh as much as 990 pounds. They are found in the semi-dry scrub and grasslands of northern Kenya, where they graze on grass. Grevy zebras require less water than other zebras. A zebra's striped coat is used as camouflage. It makes the zebra hard to see, especially in the evening, when zebra's predators usually hunt. Each zebra has a unique pattern of stripes, much like a fingerprint. But all Grevy zebras have no stripes on their stomachs. Zebras' coats are also shiny, which helps to reflect the hot sun.